If you've been here a while, you know I've seen a lot of Quest 2 head straps, and my absolute favorite, the Bobo VR M2 Plus with a battery pack that you can just take on and off, hot swap magnetically. But I got an interesting challenge from one of you, was to find a head strap that doesn't have PU leather touching your skin because they were allergic to it. I present Maiord, possibly the cheapest Halo head strap also I've ever seen. Let's open this up. Now I got this on Amazon for $21.59, which is cheap for any head strap, let alone a Halo. And interestingly, this is the frame. Looks pretty familiar. It's definitely kind of a Bobo VR clone with something very different. You remember the M3 that was like a straight up ripoff of the Bobo VR M2? Well, it used this weird rubber in the back that went around your head with these ventilation holes in it. This one not only has it in the back, but it's also the forehead pad. So if you were still rocking your stock facial interface with the silicone in the front, you'd have silicone-like rubber, same thing here, and you wouldn't have to have any PU leather touching you. Let's check this out on here real quick. So it looks like it's just 4 snap-ins on each one. They snap in really nice, actually. When they snap in, you don't doubt that those are in. And then the front just has 2 spots to snap it in. I'm interested so far. And unlike most Halos, the sides don't push on. These actually snap on here, which is kind of unique, but it's gonna give you a little less adjustability, I fear, because normally you can push these back and forth. You can get your lenses closer and further from your eyes. This one, your only ability to adjust that is gonna be to kind of push this up or down here. It does include a padded top head strap. I'm gonna try without that though, because this is that PU leather that they were worried about. Wow, it is a unique feeling. When you're so used to squishy head pads on every single head strap you try, it feels very different to have like a rubber with these vented holes. Actually feels a lot cooler on my head already.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Like usually by this point your pad's starting to heat up a little bit. It's not uncomfortable, you notice that because it absorbs the heat. Where with this, wow, it feels pretty good. And that price is unbelievably low. With it being low, you can kind of tell the gear back here feels a little cheaper. It doesn't feel bad. I felt much worse, but it definitely feels cheaper. The sound on it isn't as nice. Still decently flexible. The plastic is all hard framed and rigid. You've got a good amount of adjustability. Because it's not padded, there is a little less forgiveness in getting it adjusted around your head. You have to work a little bit more to get it right. It's got a decent amount of lift on it where you can get it up and out of your face and it stays there. It can't go up too high, mostly because it won't slide forward and go up on these. Those are locked in place. But once you get it right, it just feels like it's cradling your whole head. Keep in mind, different head shapes. This isn't gonna be perfect for everyone though, because this has a lot less flexibility than padding would. My goodness. For 21 bucks, I'm impressed, but especially if you are someone who can't have PU leather on you, this is actually seems to be a really great option. I gotta check it out in some games, take a little more time, so I'll be right back.
All right. Oh, Christ. How you doing?
Now, I've tried a lot of head straps on the channel, from very cheap to very expensive. And typically when you get a cheap one, you can tell immediately. You put it on your head, it feels crappy. I would believe I had paid more than I did for it. And of course, prices are always subject to change. By the time this video goes out, who knows, the price may change. But at $21, I would have expected this to be a total piece of crap, and it's actually decent. The cupping on your head feels pretty nice. One thing you do notice after a while, so the way the front went in here, it had those 2 snaps I told you about. Those snaps are a little bit more solid and thicker than the rest. So this whole part of your forehead feels really cushy and nice, but you start to notice those 2 little spots on your forehead. It's not terrible. I've got a very dense and thick and tall, bony forehead, so I might notice it more than most people. That was the only part that I started to feel a pressure point, but besides that, the whole thing cradles your skull really nice. It feels really good. You don't really miss the fact that you can't slide it back and forth because you can kind of just bend it down and push this part up your forehead a little bit more. This is a good deal. at $21. I'm really surprised it was that cheap, and it gives options to people who have some allergies to things that can be an issue when replacing their head strap. I really like that. For the person that was on the Discord that asked about it, I know you're having a harder time finding this specific one in your country, but I can try to help you a little bit on Amazon. Look, see if there is an Amazon there that has this, but this is a good option for you. And for everyone else out there who wants a good head strap but has a very small budget for it at the moment, this is worth considering, especially if you don't need a battery pack or if you're someone that's using it for PC. I can't fault this thing. I'm surprised. I'm very surprised by how good this feels. What do you think out there? Have you tried one similar to this, something like this? Or have you found one that has no PU leather on it that I could also take a look at for them? Because I'd love to see some more designs like this. It's been a while since I've had a head strap that's like, wow, this is different. I want to say thank you for coming out and being here with me today. And I will see you in another reality.
Really gave me the old switcheroo on that little finger.
I wanted to keep you guessing.